Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and welcome back to Sentinel Reviews. I am really behind on these, and for that I apologize. Things came up, things happened, so let's just get through these as quick as possible. We're continuing our RWBY reviews, starting with Chapter 6 of Volume 6, Alone in the Woods. As always, I will be talking spoilers, so if you click on the description down below, there should be a link to the Rooster Teeth website where the episode is now free to watch. And I like this episode. Yeah, no, there were I can't think of any issues I had with this episode specifically, because a lot of the issues I found were so far with Volume 6 as a whole. And my big issue is the pacing. With the exception of Volume 1, which was 20 chapters, each volume season has been 12 chapters. And, I think the writers have really known how to write a story and make it last these 12 chapters. Volume 6 has been extended. I've heard 14 episodes, I've heard 13. I don't know how long it's been extended to, but it's going to be longer than the 12 chapter volumes of 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I think, it's starting to show just a little bit in the pacing, because they have additional episodes to write. They kind of have to drag the episodes out a little bit to try and fill everything. I'm not saying everything's filler, I'm just saying that I've noticed the pacing drags. Like, take the last 3 episodes, including this one, so episodes 4, 5, and 6. At the end of episode 4, the gang arrived at the farm. At episode 5, it still showed them at the farm and had the setup for what would be the conclusion to this part of the story. And then Volume 6 is the payoff. In past volumes, it wouldn't take that long. Usually we get one episode would be the setup, the next episode would be the payoff. Sometimes the payoff would last a couple episodes, kind of like DBZ. But yeah, that's just one thing I noticed, and really that is my only flaw with Chapter 6, and so far it's my only flaw with Volume 6 as a whole. So as I said, Chapter 6 is the payoff to the group coming to the farm. I couldn't help but feel this was very similar to Lord of the Rings. Like, as Frodo and Sam got closer to Mount Doom, this sort of hopelessness set in over Frodo. And, yeah, the way the characters were acting, which we'd find out about later, what was influencing them, it just kind of reminded me a lot of that. There was also a lot of tension in this episode. I'm trying to keep it going fast, because this is my second time doing this video. I just wasn't proud of the first take. But yeah, no, it's like, when the characters first start talking about how hopeless their situation is, you start to feel this tension build up, combined with the little sneak peek we got at the end of Chapter 5. Until we get the payoff, which sort of shifts it from just sort of more to a horror story. And we have a new Grimm, the apathy, and man, these things are creepy. Yeah, I'm just rambling off from point to point, and I apologize. But no, the apathy was a great design. These things looked, they were like the Knucklevi. They just looked unnatural, and oh, so creepy. And especially their explanation, they drain your will to go on. This episode was really a great parable, a great allegory about depression and not wanting to go on and fighting through that feeling. And I think it was done really well, and I give the episode high marks for that. We also got some major plot developments, like we actually finally got a lot with Maria in this episode. And I think it goes back to having to drag out the story for this volume to extra episodes, but we finally got Maria finally got something to do rather than just being the sassy old lady who was really just in the background. And we got the revelation that she had silver eyes. I'm not going to really talk about that because when the trailers came out, everyone and their mother called it. I didn't. I thought it would just be interesting to see where it goes. Although I will note she did say had. Past tense. Seeing that go on will play out will be interesting. Seeing what happened there will be interesting. Ultimately, I can't really think of much else to talk about. Great episode, good at establishing mood, great tension, great new Grim design, some plot elements. Oh! No, do I want to talk about that right now? No, I want to talk about RWBY and the development of her learning about her powers and then her training to use them, but I'm trying to debate if I want to talk about that at all. Because it's just, ever since Volume 4, people have been complaining, oh, she has these powers, why doesn't she use them? One, she hasn't learned how to use them until Maria started with this episode. Two, she never got the time to learn to use them. Volume 4, she was basically traveling cross-country from Vale to Mistral. I think across several countries. And then Volume 5, she had everything going on with the fall of Mistral and, and she's never had a teacher who properly knows what they're talking about. Just based on what we've seen, I'm skeptical that Ozpin knows about the Silver Eyes. Like, he knows of them, but I'm skeptical he knows how they work. So, yeah, she never had the time, she never had a proper teacher. Anyway, because I really noticed, because this episode was mostly great, and mostly what brought it down were my nitpicks about the pacing. Yeah, couldn't forget the name for a minute. I forgot the name for a minute. Yeah. I'm going to give Alone in the Woods an A-. Alright, I'm back, and I figured since my Alone in the Woods review was so short, I would do these as a double feature. So now we're looking at Episode 7, The Grim Reaper. And same thing, episode is now public, you can go to the description below to watch it. And this was basically a break episode, it's like every so often in stories like these, you get an episode where you really just get a lighthearted break before things get bad again. This actually makes me really concerned about what's going to happen in Chapter 8. So, yeah, because of that, there really isn't a lot to talk about in this episode. We open with Cinder and Neo, and I'm starting to wonder if we're ever going to get more with Cinder, really. We've started, with a lot of the villains, we've been not a lot of the villains, but with some of the villains, we've been getting more into their backstories, and it's really helped to round them out. Salem, in particular, in this volume. We even saw a little bit with Hazel, that his sister died, and he's really doing this. He's allied himself with Salem because he blames Ozpin. And we've seen that he operates to his own code of honor as well. Like, he tried to take the fall for Cinder's failure at Mistral. Cinder, it's just, I want revenge on RWBY. And, this late in the game, because this has been going on since Volumes 4 and 5, I'm really starting to wonder if we are going to get anything else with her. Not a bad thing, though, just, that's the best way to describe it. Meh. I use that word a lot in my videos. Anyway, then we get a flashback to the episode's title, The Grim Reaper, who, surprise, is Maria. It's funny, just because in episode 6 we talked about how she had silver eyes, and past tense, and I was not expecting to get that answer so soon. And that was a great sequence, the animation on the fighting, and then her fight with the bandits, for lack of a better term, especially that alligator faunus. And that was a brutal scene as well. Like, RWBY has started getting darker as the episodes have gone on, but man, I think that is one of the most brutal scenes thus far. Just seeing Maria get her eyes sliced open, just getting her eyes sliced, and then how she dealt with that faunus. That was yeesh. And then we get the rest of the episode, which is, as I said, the sort of taking a break. The gang has arrived at Argus. Wow. And they reunite with Jean, Nora, and Ren. And there is a scene, and the reunions are sweet, they're good. There is a scene there with Jean and RWBY, an exchange they have, which sort of reaffirms my own idea about where I think the series is going. I mean, of course, we'll see. And just, by the way, I'm just going to get this out of the way. My OTP for RWBY is Lancaster. And if you don't know what Lancaster is, I've had it explained to me dozens of times. I still don't get why it's named that, but it is the pairing of Jean and RWBY. So there's that. And then we meet Jean's sister, Saffron. I think they said that was her name. Saffron and her wife, Terracotta, who were cute. I like them. I love Saffron's interactions with Jean. That was amazing and funny. And, we didn't get a lot of it, so there's not much more to say. Although that baby was amazing as well. Yeah, I'm struggling with this one. Bleh. As I said, this is really just... It's like Master of the House in Les Miserables. Things are about to get bad. They're about to get worse. So this moment is meant to, here, take a break, cheer yourself up, take some of the edge off, because things are about to get really, really bad. And just for that, I'm going to give the Grim Reaper a B. Because it is still an enjoyable episode. But yeah, these were my reviews for Chapters 6 and 7, trying to catch up. I have one more episode to get to. Hopefully that'll be up in a couple days. But yeah, what did you think? You please start a conversation in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and then click that little bell next to subscribe to get notifications when I upload, because subscribe doesn't do that anymore. And also in the description box below, you'll see the link to my Twitter, where you can follow me and get updates on the channel. Anyway, this is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and I'll see you guys next time.